Assalamualaikum. I am Aziatul Fazira Binti. So today we will presenting a topic on economical issues in Malaysia. Money is something that everyone needs all the time. Money is defined as anything that acts as a medium of exchange, any commodity that is generally acceptable as a payment for goods and services can serve as money. Thus, in this chapter, we will discuss the banking system and how the central bank uses monetary policy to influence the entire economy and the current issues of those systems in our country, such as the latest economy issue, Malaysia expenditures for current economy during pandemic, and also current financial issues and currency value dropping issues, and employment issue during pandemic, and many more. Now, I will discuss about the issue and measure to overcome them. In Malaysia, we are facing some economy issues that connecting in to the case of COVID-19 pandemic outbreak. Malaysia's economy will eventually recover from the global coronavirus pandemic once the country lifts the Movement Control Order (MCO). However, this could take some time, as the fundamentals of the Malaysian economy must be rebuilt. The outbreak of pandemic brings a lot of issues that hit those business entities with losing their earnings. They cannot operate the business as usual, they cannot pay the employees' salary, and worse, they lost their customers. To overcome this issue, the Malaysian government is in the final stages of setting up a new state guaranteed asset management company to head off defaults in the banking sector and to bail out troubled businesses reeling from the collapse in the financial markets. The tourism industry, which has been impacted by entry bans being imposed by many countries, leading to flight and hotel cancellations and resulting in billions of losses. However, in overcoming this issue, Malaysia's bank will offer broader loan deferrals that will involve 100 billion of funds as the country seeks more ways to soften the pandemic's impact on its economy. Bank will offer 6 months deferral for all loans held by individual and small businesses and let people convert their credit card debt into a 3-year term loan, to the central bank said. Corporate borrowers will be allowed to defer or restructure their borrowings in order to protect jobs and resume activities once the situation improves.
During the pandemic COVID-19 virus that struck the world, Malaysia is no exception. Until this very day, Malaysia is showing a positive result on handling the COVID-19 issue. Hats off to the frontliners that have been sacrificing their life and time for the country in fighting the virus. During the first phase of Movement Restriction Control, or the MCO, all economic sector in Malaysia is forced to shut down in order to break the chain of the COVID-19 virus. Since the first phase of the MCO until the third phase, Malaysia's economic sector is estimated to suffer a loss around 2.4 billion ringgit per day, and a total of 63 billion losses since 18th of March until the 1st of May. With the huge amount of loss that the Malaysia's economic sector has suffered, Malaysia's government have never left their people behind. Even with the loss, the government still provide their people with financial help. The government understands that the trouble people are having during the MCO is unbearable. So in order to ease the people's burden, the government allocates the people with some funding called as Bantuan Prihatin Nasional, or known as BPN, Until 9th of May 2020, the BPN that the government has allocated for the people have reached in a cumulative total of 11 billion ringgit. In order to cover the loss suffered for the last few months, the government has implemented the Condition Movement Control Order (CMCO) on the 4th of May, where some economic sectors is allowed to reoperate, such as restaurants, companies, and factories, as well as grocery shop, which can regenerate back the Malaysia's economy. On 7th of June, Prime Minister Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin announced that the Conditional Movement Control Order would end on 9th of June, with the country entering into the Recovery Movement Control Order, or the RMCO, between 10th of June and 31st August. The Prime Minister also announced that interstate travel would be allowed from 10th of June under the RMCO, except in areas remaining under the Enhanced Movement Control Order, or the EMCO. During this RMCO, most of the economic sector in Malaysia is allowed to open as usual, as long as it follows the SOP and the rules given, which social distancing have to be practiced and no business is allowed after 12 am. Slowly, Malaysia is recovering the economy day by day, and also while fighting the COVID-19 virus. So let's hope for the best for our country, and also let's hope that the Malaysia's economy would be back like how it used to be before. And shall we move to the next topic?
Okay, hi. During this year, Malaysia has facing the worst financial issue due to world pandemic crisis, COVID-19. Not only Malaysia, but all countries around the world were affected. Like was America, China, France, and Italy were critically damaged. All economic sectors were forced to shut down, and this will lead to other issue, which is jobless. Our export sector has decreased 23.8% in April, starting from earlier, as the pandemic COVID-19 badly disrupted the global supply chain. And our government has taken initiative to block the way in and out to reduce the infection of this disease effectively, or else it will getting worse. Malaysia's sale value wholesale and retail trade has decreased 36.6% year on year in April 2020. That is the worst decline in history after recording decrease 5.7% in March. During the MCO, Movement Control Order, car dealer, showroom and other shop were not allowed to operate, that affecting the sale in this country. People with low income or no job has to facing the worst financial problem that will lead to other problems like their health problem. And our government has the lowest income and the highest expenditure in just 4 months. In order to overcome this issue, our Prime Minister has announced the BPN, or we call it Bantuan Prihatin Nasional. This will help our people to reduce their burden. BPN is giving based on their living status, such as B40. They will get 3,000 ringgit and below based on the qualification stated. And our government also get help from our NGO and private company that allocate fund to buy PPE suit and others medical setup for frontliners to block the COVID-19. By using this step, people can get involved and give some light to our economic system. For SME, government has created GKP Grant Khas Prihatin that will approve 3,000 ringgit to start their business. Until now, 25 June 2020, we can see our economy are improved step by step when all sectors already open to public. Okay, we go to other point.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ikmal Hazim, Rosman, and now I would like to explain employment issue during pandemic and measure to overcome the issue. Okay, in the event of serious pandemic outbreak, businesses must play a key role in protecting employee health and safety. Currently, business continuity of companies in various sectors is severely affected in many ways, with one of the major issues they face being how to handle their workforce. We consider below several important employment issues that needed to be managed by employers. Okay, in health and safety sector, in the short company must undertake all measures required by relevant authorities in order to protect their employees' health and safety. Work from home seems alternate reduced work period arrangement, physical distancing procedures, and travel restriction are the top priorities. At the present, public health and safety must remain the first priority. In this way, employers are required to conduct a guidance supervision of work health and safety measures in accordance with the prevailing laws and regulations, provide level governments, authorities on any pandemic cases, suspected cases within the organization, implement measures to prevent spread of the virus or bacterial infection within the organization, handle any actual or suspected case within the organization in accordance with standard procedure from the Ministry of Health. Okay, another issue that occurs during the pandemic which is deferment or reduction of salary. Having regard to the current realities, especially the inability to do business as we know it, one of the options available to employees may be to vary the terms of their employees' contract such that there is deferment or reduction of agreed salaries. This approach should be a win-win situation for both parties. As on one hand, employees would be able to retain their employments during the pandemic, and on the other hand, the employee are able to manage their resources until things return back to normal. In the event that this option, consider an employer is required to notify its employees and obtain prior consent as to when how to change would take effect before implementing sale. Okay, on the other hand, deferment of bonuses and promotion is also the issue that occurs during the pandemic. Another option available to the employer is deferment of bonuses and promotion. In most companies, bonus determination and application usually part from the company's policies, which are typically incorporated by reference in employment contract, thereby becoming binding. In such circumstance, the provision of bonuses and promotion vests a right in employees and may be recoverable against the employer due to expectation interest may they create for the employee. Besides that, and other overcome the issue of employment during pandemic is measure for the aftermath. Employer should put in place employment plans to be implemented when the COVID-19 outbreak has subsided. Business sustainability and each company's reputation are key considerations. This measure might include managing the process of the employees' return to work, business recovery, business restructuring, and possible scaling down of operation. In this section, we will discuss particularly the scaling down of business involving employment termination. The manpower law sets out a very limited set of prescribed circumstances in which termination of employment is permitted. As a reminder, termination will require the employees to try to obtain the agreement of the employee, and failing that, obtain a determination from the Industrial Relations Court. In addition, any employees terminated will be entitled to severance package payment that will be calculated based on the number of years of services.
To conclude, macroeconomics problem is something that block everyone to get their need. At this time, most people use banking system, financial, money, and more. In this report, we have discussed the problem and how to overcome it. The current issues of those systems in our country, such as the latest economy issue, Malaysia expenditures for current economy during lockdown, current financial issues, currency value dropping issues, and last but not least, employment issue during pandemic and many more has been cleared with a lot of changes and ways that the government has took to cure Malaysian economic issues, such as they has revealed BPN, Bantuan Prihatin Nasional, for people with different living status, and GKP, Geran Khas Prihatin, that focus on the SME company to restart their business and rebuild country economics with appropriate steps. As a whole, Malaysia is a potential investment market in Asia country. The political stability, the optimistic economy growth, peaceful and harmonious society, advanced technology, and of course, cheap but highly educated labor force are the strength of Malaysia to attract foreign investor from China, India, Middle East, and also by bringing in more foreign investor it also helps the development of Malaysia and to achieve the vision 2020. That's all from us. Thank you.